Hey guys, this is Lori. It is Wednesday, January 9th of 2017. This is Move It Monday. It's the unofficial, we haven't quite started the full-on 2017 plan yet, but it's Move It Monday for this week. And last week, if you didn't see it or listen to the recording, we did watch a inspirational video about why we care about our why, basically. What's the reason behind finding our why? And so I wanted to, this week, kind of go into a little bit more conversation about how to create your story and your 30-second commercial. I know some people have no clue what that means, and some of you are very good at it. So we want to talk about Jackie's kind of questionnaire she did, the story writer homework kind of questionnaire again, go over that, and if share what yours, if you've done your homework this week and you have your 30-second commercial ready, and you want to try it out, you're welcome to, and give each other kind of an idea of how you would talk about yourself or what we're sharing. So that's kind of the direction of this week. And really quick, Jody, can you hear me? Okay, so I don't think you heard me earlier. I am such a bad Aspire Club coach because I did not go woo last week about you promoting to manager. So I was so proud of you. I was so excited, and I got off the call last week and I was like, no, I forgot to say yay, Jody. So yay, Jody.
Well, thank you.
Congratulations.
Thanks.
Yeah, very exciting. So exciting. One of my girls. So can't wait for me to get so fun. All right. We are going to do a meet and greet at some point, even if it's just Jafra Events / Aspire Club, unofficially like we did last year. Jackie and I are putting our heads together to figure out where we're going to do it. We kind of have to talk to the hotel, get their input, find out, we have a couple avenues of ways of finding a place. So, so that's the plan. Okay, so tonight we're talking about our why. So just to briefly cover or touch on what Simon Sinek, the guy we watched last week, what he said was that there is a biological reason why you need to figure out your why. And the reason is that he talked about Martin Luther King and the Wright brothers and all these people. That's like one thing he said that kind of made me laugh was he said Martin Luther King didn't give let's see, what did he say? Not How to Find a Dream. Oh, he said he didn't give a what is my plan? This is my plan speech. He gave a dream speech, right? It was his dream that he was talking about. And people believed what he believed, and that spread like wildfire at a time when there was no internet, no easy way to spread information. It was all person to person. So that is very powerful. And the reason is because what he calls the golden circle, and Jackie covered that a little bit in our leader call today, was that the center of your brain works in three pieces. So you've got your why in the middle, how, and then what. And most people, when they're talking about something they're sharing, they're talking from their what. And nobody cares, because if you think about it, there's a lot of companies that have a what. There's a lot of other skincare companies or other direct selling companies, and they're all out there talking about, oh, we have great products, we have this, we have that. But so does, that message is not going to resonate with someone at their core level, which is their why. So if they don't believe what you believe, they're not going to follow through and keep spreading that belief to other people, right? So that was the kind of the core message. So that reason I shared it was because Jackie always talks about your why, and I was always like, okay, but I didn't really understand how powerful that really is and the biological, logical, scientific reason behind it. I found that really important. So let me find my little picture. So this is the homework, whatever. This was the questions that we had that were kind of a walkthrough of how to figure out your story or how to write your story. So who are you? What do you do? Why were you looking? How you joined? What impressed you the most? What is it doing for you now? And the best part is going to change depending on who you're talking to. So those questions are pretty basic, right? I'm going to stop sharing because I like looking at you guys. I like this better. Oh, by the way, if you guys are here and you can only see me talking, or me when I'm talking, if you go up to the top right of your screen that says gallery view, click on that and it will show you all of us. FYI, because nobody needs to do that. Anyway, so do you guys have any thoughts on that, or any things you've been thinking about this week, or has anybody come up with your 30-second commercial or your story?
Is he suggesting that that is the 30-second commercial, all the answers to those questions?
What I just showed you was not.
That's not a 30-second commercial, is it?
No.
So you
I'm just.
I think it's just our talking point.
Yeah, it's like how to find your story, or how to simplify, kind of in a nutshell. This is my story, my Jafra story, and then from there you make your 30-second commercial.
I see.
Because, and then what we've been talking about is the core of that. The first thing that you should be talking about is your why. So why do you think that this is the best thing for anybody and everybody to be doing / selling / whatever? Does that make sense? So mine kind of looks like, so my why is like, if someone says, what do you do? That's kind of your why, and not in this true sense, but so instead of saying I sell cosmetics, which, you know, thousands of other people could say, you could say something along the lines of, like, for me, I could say, I help women to feel beautiful, confident, and appreciated every day.
Mm-hmm.
So they're going to go, oh, that sounds interesting. How do you do that? And then you're totally into it, right? You're starting a conversation. So that to me is really how I feel. I really feel like that's why I do what I do. Not because, I mean, yes, making money, of course, trips, of course. But to me, the most important piece of what we do is the way that we give women something more than they have right now. And that's just that's my why. It doesn't have to be your why. It could be something totally else, totally different. But for me, that's what is emotionally, and that's what your why is. It has to do with emotion. So emotionally, that appeals to me way more than paying my bills. I mean, paying my bills is just annoying. It's nice, but I don't want to focus on like money. Like, I don't know. I mean, money is a powerful thing too, and it also creates confidence and creates all of those things. However, that's not emotionally why I'm doing this, right? It's an awesome byproduct, and it's a huge piece of our message. But for me, my first thought is the emotional, how I feel and how they would feel, because that's what changes your life to me. The rest, I mean, I don't know. That's just my message. So that's my why. It doesn't have to be your why. I mean, yes, the money is, I mean, that's a huge, our commission structure is unparalleled, you know, in the industry and all of these things. I mean, we have an amazing company, an amazing opportunity, but the emotional reason and the emotional way, the way I feel about it is not related to money. Does that make sense? It's kind of like Marie talks about lifestyle. I love that. When you hashtag your Jafra lifestyle, it's like, yeah, that. Because it's true. It is. I mean, yeah, you talked about that last week, and you can feel free to talk about it again, because this is not the Lori show. So Janet, do you want to share your side of, or your thoughts on that?
Well, mine is just to help people be the best that they can be. And I mean, that's always been my passion, that they can do and be whoever they dream about. So that's what I love about Jafra, is because I do think it offers you that chance to do that. And that they look good, can feel good, and they can have more confidence. and they can afford to do it because they make good money.
Yeah. I mean, seriously, and like I said, money is a big piece of it. It's just not my first message.
Right.
It's absolutely in my message. Once the conversation starts, it's right there.
Mhm.
But
Right.
when my first gut, like first thing, I'm gonna pull on the emotion, not,
Mhm.
and because that's how I feel too. But
Mhm.
and that's what he talked about is you
Right.
gotta find that emotional, because that's where it's like when you
Mhm.
when you go and you buy something, a lot of times it's a gut reaction. It's not, not crunching numbers and looking, it's like, ooh, that's pretty, I want that,
Mhm.
so it's not
Mhm.
a
Well, I took a long time because I was teaching full time when I started, and I thought, what can I do? What am I good at? And what do I like? And what do I really enjoy? And it all came down to meeting new people, having friends. I always liked the beauty business. So, and to really, what I discovered, I think, is that people have so much inside them that never comes out, that they're so smart and they have so much good, that's what I like to bring out to people and have them recognize it and be excited about it. So,
exactly.
mm,
I mean, if you think about, like, even the person, I was pretty, okay, confident and sort of when I started, but not with this kind of stuff. And I never in a million years would have thought I would have gotten up in front of a room of 500 women and trained them on anything. I mean,
mhm.
I just wouldn't have thought about that. That would have been something I was actually looking forward to doing. It would have been more like, oh, and now it's, I'm training online, I'm training in person, I'm doing all this stuff, and I'm loving it. And I'm loving watching people learn and grow and light bulbs coming on. And I mean, that is such a high. It's like the dopamine rush, you don't need sugar, just go out and do something for someone else. I don't know. It's really, I love doing it. It's fun. And watching people become what they want to become is fun.
Yeah, it is.
You know?
Fun. It is fun.
Sarah, what were you going to share? You said you had some thoughts on it.
Yeah, so when we were doing the Aspire Club training, Jackie, yes, you called it the Gold Circle.
Yeah. That's what I'm talking about. Hold on a second. Okay, whoever's on 812, is that you, Jackie?
No, I think it's Felicia.
Oh, Felicia. Can you mute yourself, honey? Unless you're going to talk, because there's a lot of cut in.
No,
Just mute unless you're talking, and then.
Can you hear me?
How do you move? Star 6?
Yeah, I think I might have been coughing.
Okay.
Are you guys, can you hear me?
I can hear you, yeah.
So you star
Okay,
6 to mute.
Did you want me to say something?
No, I was just saying it's because your phone number was causing a lot of background noise. So I was going to say, if mute yourself.
Oh, I don't have anything on, like no TV or anything, but I did cough.
Okay.
Sorry.
And Sarah, yours is cutting in and out. So maybe if you are closer to the.
Get closer.
Yeah.
Okay. Okay. So, okay, don't look too close. Anyways, okay, so, and the whole thing about the gold goal is that we, typically might start talking about Jafra and more like what Jafra is and how you do it, and not really share the why. And when I did this exercise with my Aspire Club team, it was really more about prospecting, and instead of just chattering on, is prospecting to find out what their why is, which most people don't know what their why is. I mean, look at us. We're going, oh, my why. Okay, let me think, And if we've been in Jafra a long time, our why could have adjusted and changed, correct?
Right.
And so, so that's what I want to share. So anyways, instead of starting with the what Jafra is and how you do it, you start with the why. And the way, and it's kind of like what you were talking about with Rhonda. Rhonda, hi, Rhonda. Rhonda, Rhonda, listens, and that's what we need to do. But sometimes we need to bring things out. So let's say we're talking to someone and I was committed on Sunday. I'm like starting to feel anxious, like, oh my gosh, I need to get some business going, and I'm moving around. So it's not like I'm living in a community where I'm seeing people all the time. I kind of have to create whatever happens. And I've been out, I'm actually close to my community, but I've been gone for a while. So on Sunday, I'm talking to a couple of women. I'm like, okay, Sarah, just be brave, and ask if you went, women, if they would make friends together. And so one of the women, I was talking to her and just kind of talking to her, and it's about asking enough questions and being curious about people to find out about them. And then they start telling you things. And we actually did these in exercises, and it was really interesting because we would role play. We would ask one person. And when I was actually the person being talked to, and they were trying to find out about me and what need Jafra might fulfill, it was a whole different than being the person asking the questions. And so just trying to connect their why they would be interested in what we have to offer. So of course we can start with our why that might entice them or get them interested, but it's really about discovering what their why is. And as we're talking to our clients or our friends or family or talking to, or those at a party that we meet, it's asking enough questions to listen and find out what's most important to them, so that as we start talking to them and identifying their why, it can be much more personalized as opposed to just going on with whatever we think. And sometimes what they say in the beginning, and we know this from all the years of Jafra and doing exercises, is it's not always what they say in the beginning that is really what their why is. And so, and sometimes saying what our why is might spark an idea. Now for me, my whole thing has always been about helping them create the life of their dreams. And that's kind of a vague statement, but it kind of opens up a conversation. Like, what would be the life of your dreams? What's going, so you find out about them. Are they a mom? Do they want to be at home raising their own kids? Are they, retired and they're bored and they need something to do? Were they like me, a college student that, didn't like sitting in an office earning minimum wage, which was $3.10 an hour back in those days. And, that I went to a party and someone just believed in me and invited me to go somewhere to see that maybe I could do this. So it's finding out what the why is so that then we can expand it. So we obviously need to know our why, but to get them connected and to tug at their own heartstrings, we need to find out what their why is. And the way you do that is just by being curious. And we obviously all love people because we're in a people business. And, we want to get to know. I mean, I usually leave a person thinking about things I want to know about them that I forgot to ask them. So it's taking the time, and you can't always do that in a quick prospecting moment. But if you can have time to talk to them more, hey, you guys are all changing places on the board.
Yeah, I think for me, it's always been that initial, what do I say? So because once I have the conversation open, I'm golden. I can ask them questions and talk to them, but that initial "what do you do" question is always been where I falter. So I had to find out, what am I going to say that's going to open the conversation without shutting them down because I say, I work for Jafra Cosmetics. They're like, oh boy, no thank you, or whatever. It's just like, I don't want that reaction because they immediately think, oh no, MLM. I want them to go, oh, that's interesting. What are you talking about? So
the other thing
you're saying is absolutely true.
The other thing too is just it really is about listening. And then one other thing they said and you repeated this you said it at the end of the call, was that it has to be something they say out loud. So one thing we can do is we can say, oh, so you're saying that if you could find a way that you could stay home with your kids, that would interest you, right? And so, getting them to agree with you. There was a concept way back when called I sell, you sell. And so, I use this in the skincare part, but it's the same concept. Is you find out what they want and then you talk to them in about what they want, and then they're now selling themselves because you're speaking their language, whatever that might be. And so it's it really is about just talking to people and caring enough and listening and talking less.
Mhm.
So
I'd like to
Caroline?
share
Oh yeah, Marie, go ahead. And I was gonna ask
Yeah,
Caroline if you want.
just a couple things. I just sponsored a new woman, and we had our consultant orientation. And I asked her, I said, why Jafra? When you join Jafra and you're going to start your business, what do you want Jafra to do for you, to be for you, or have for you? What is it? And of course it's always, well, I'd like a career. She wanted some money. But her main thing was that she said to me, I need to connect with a group of great women. So there's her why, that's her big thing in it. And she loved the product. She'd known about Jafra. She used it years and years ago. So I think if you just ask them what, especially when you're, people are thinking of joining Jafra, say, well, why Jafra? What is Jafra going to bring to you? How's it going to make your life different? Or how's it going to add to your life? What exactly is it? And then if they say money, say, well, great. Well, what are you going to do with that? This series of questions, and that's where the coaching comes in. But another thing that I did with the consultants and the leaders, and Rhonda, we did this, is, and I will forward you the handout that I did with them. We're going to do this at our meeting tomorrow. And it's a list of success qualities. And there's probably about 100 qualities on this list. So I asked them to circle 10 that they thought, resonated with them. Don't think about it. Just go down the list and circle 10 of the things that, really mean something to you. And then out of those 10, I want you to pick 5. And then out of those 5, I want you to pick 3. And out of those 3, I want you to pick 1, because that's the word, that's the quality that you value most. So that's the quality that you have inside yourself that you are looking for, but more so what you can give. So I think when they have that mindset of not what can I get from Jafra, what am I looking for Jafra, what did Jafra give me, but what can I give? What connecting women with Jafra, what can I give her? And usually it's the same thing. So for me, it's self-confidence. That's what Jafra gives me. That's what I love. And so at the same time, I can give self-confidence to women in Jafra too. So it's a really pretty cool exercise. And it takes literally maybe 5 minutes to do that. And I just did this with the woman that she just signed up. And her thing was faith, to be faithful, not so much faithful spiritually, but just loyalty. So that's what she's looking for. She's looking for a group of women who she can be loyal to and who can be loyal to her. So it's pretty cool. Rhonda, yours was loving, remember? So Rhonda's word is loving. So she looks for love, and Jafra gives her that feeling of love. But then again, that's what she exudes and she gives out too. So
Very cool.
it's way more.
Do you have it on your computer?
I do. I'll send it to you.
Well, I'm just saying you could just click on share and you could show it to us.
Oh, okay. Right now?
Yeah, why not?
Okay. How did I do
Send
that?
it to us also.
What, honey? I said this is actually going to be.
It's going to be so exciting. No. Lori, the trick is to open it first and then share your screen.
So do I have to log out?
Nope.
Just at the bottom. Oh, yeah. You have to open it on your computer.
Yeah. So
Because Zoom is its own page, so you can go other places on your computer while we're on. It's so fun. Ready?
Oh, no, I don't know how to do that.
So click on. Are you on a Mac or a PC?
PC.
Okay, so you know the Windows key, the little 4 squares on the bottom left of your keyboard.
Maybe I might have to make my. Okay, that's what I had to do. Okay. I just had to make my screen smaller. That's also it. Yeah, so I could get in. Okay, hold on. Let me say, hold
I
on.
like visual, so I like to
You
see
just
things.
taught me something, Lori. Thank you.
You're welcome.
Okay, see that? This is a.
So when you click the Windows button and then Windows E, it opens it at Windows Explorer.
Oh, yeah, you know what? It's not on this computer, though. I'm sorry. It's on my other computer.
What?
I'm sorry.
Well, do definitely send it to us. That would be awesome.
Oh, I definitely will. I definitely will. Absolutely.
And
Absolutely.
Carolyn, did you have anything you wanted to share on this subject?
Well, as far as what my why is, I have always really believed that when women feel good about themselves on the inside, then it transposes to the outside. And I think sometimes just helping them find makeup if they don't know how to do makeup, or even new skincare products, whatever, that makes them look and feel good about themselves, that transforms to an inner self, and it gives them the confidence to be more whatever they want to be. To help them dream big, help them dream about how they can see their life, their lifestyle, and then kind of talking a little bit to them about how Jafra can do that. The flexibility, I just, over the last many years, being the caregiver to my mom and to my dad before he passed, has given me this job, has given me the flexibility to help them. I would never have been able to devote as much time as I did to them in the corporate world. So I think that is huge. I think we all run into women who are in similar situations, and this could also be a way that they could have a life and a job and still be able to spend that time with their aging moms, dads. Anyway.
Exactly. I think if it is, if you like, you could even say to someone who you know is a complete control freak, you could say to them, if you want complete control over your life, this is the job for you. You know, because to them that might be their why. They are sick of answering to someone else. You know, I can't even imagine working in the workplace anymore. I mean, I think about it and it makes me like, no, you know, because it's so wonderful to be able to decide what I want to do when I want to do it.
Well, I will say I left
till 4 a.m., then it's training till 4 a.m. But, you know, if it's like whatever I decide to do, I can have the flexibility to do that. I took off for a couple days to go to Great Wolf Lodge with my kids. I mean, I never would have been able to do that short notice with, you know, or go to a day for run up to Seattle for the day to Wild Waves, or we did that last summer. And it was like, I thought about it, I was there. I never could have just said, well, at most jobs, you can't just say, oh, I'm just going to leave today. Sorry, bye, without, you know, going, which is not good at all to do. So that's called cheating, which we don't do. So, but, you know, it's like that kind of stuff you can't just do when you're not working for yourself. When you're working for someone else, you answer to them. And it's wonderful to just have that freedom to come and go and, you know, do what we want. So that's pretty cool.
It's also wonderful to be able to offer that to women who are looking for a way to get out of the corporate environment. I did that years ago. I decided I wanted to devote my time to Jafra and took that big giant step and left that big company, and I've never looked back and I've never regretted it. It's been an awesome ride.
Very cool. Vicki, how about you? See how I'm calling on the class?
What? So my why, that's what you're asking, right?
Sure. Or just thoughts on the subject, either one. You guys all have so much experience. I think it's good to share.
Well, I just think really my why, because I started a long time ago with kids and with the products, that's why I got into the Jafra program, just to get my products. But really, like you said, just to be able to go and do things and be with my kids, be mom, you know, and I think that's huge. And there's so many women that are that age right now that I want to get a hold of, and I haven't really figured out how to really get into that market, I guess. So I'd love for anybody to have any pointers or anything that you're doing that's working to get into the 20, 30-year-old market. Anybody have anything that's working?
Standing on a street corner with a sign? No, I'm just kidding.
The bridal shows are great. We do the bridal shows in our area, and they're all usually in their 20s, young 30s. So it's a way to meet them and to get into that, you know. I'd love to do, I keep saying this, and I want to have a panel. I want to invite women to be on a panel that are in that age group and just kind of pick their brains. And then for being on this panel group, we're going to give them, of course, a Jafra spa package. Because I want to know, what is it? What would make you say yes to direct sales? What would be intriguing? What do you look for? You know, because I don't know. It's different. It's a whole different world.
Marie?
Yes. Yep.
At the bridal shows, this is Liz.
Hi,
At
Liz.
the bridal shows, hi, how are you?
I'm good. Good to
Do you?
We can't see you.
Good to see you too.
There
Oh,
you go.
I don't have audio on my computer, so I had to call in, but
We're just
no
happy to
problem.
see your face.
Now we can see it.
I was just wondering, at the bridal show, do you have a vendor booth, or do you like put makeup on, or like offer to do different things?
We have a booth. We have a vendor booth, and what we do at our booth, if you stop by our booth, we are giving away, here comes my pitch. We're giving away bridal spa packages. It's a 1 hour of spa treatments for you and your bridal party. Also includes a gift certificate as well too toward any product you'd like to purchase. So you and your bridal party can be pampered for 1 hour with a royal jelly ritual facial, a microdermabrasion treatment, a spa mud mask, and a royal hand treatment. And they're like, oh my God. Yeah. And of course they all sign up, and then we either book them here on the spot, or we'll call them, you know, within 48 hours to call them and give them their spa package.
Oh, that's great.
Yeah.
That's great. Thank you.
You're welcome.
When we did our bridal show, last year we were offering them an extra, well, it was basically I was offering them a royal jelly at the time at their party when they held it, if they booked it right then. So they had to book that day in order to, and schedule it on the schedule and everything, in order to get a $70 value gift at when they held their party. And I booked 12 in 2 hours, 2.5 hours.
That's a good idea.
Wow. That's great.
And some of them cancel, you know, they always do. But, you know, just to have, it was shocking to me that many people in that short, and we were at one of the slower times. It was toward the end of the show. So it wasn't even a super, super busy time. And I still walked out with 30 leads and 12 parties. So it's kind of
Wow.
amazing. And I got 2 consultants out of it. And
Yeah. It's definitely, they're expensive, but they're definitely the best return on your investment of your money and your time, for sure.
Well, and
Wow, that's
all of
great.
the brides aren't 20s either. They're more in their 30s, a lot of them.
A lot of them, but
consultants were older that I got.
Mm-hmm.
Hey, I want to
you know what I like
you guys.
about it is that their moms know about Jafra. So they're the ones, yeah, go ahead, book the appointment, book the party. Jafra's great, you know, so they have somebody else there telling them how great it is.
Jackie, what were you going to say?
Hey, somebody mentioned something about like getting the 20 and 30 somethings, or how do you
Reach them.
I'm actually having really good luck with that. Most of my team is like half my age right now. And something that I'm doing, right when you said that, I looked at my calendar and realized that most of my hostesses are like late 20s, early 30s right now. And I'm doing a lot of brow parties, like eyebrow parties, just because of that new brow set we had come out. So they're really big on their eyebrows right now. I mean, I could care less. I'm going to, do whatever I got to do. But, they want to have those weird blocky eyebrows that you have to work forever to get, so just get our set that's offered to us by Jafra and practice a lot, and try to make that eyebrow, even if you don't like it on yourself, just get some practice at it. And then do eyebrow parties, call it whatever you want. But that's what I'm saying. You can use that to reach out to the 20 and 30s and some 40s and 50s. I'm not saying only younger people, but man, it sure seems to be their thing right now. So
Do you give them,
that and be helpful.
at that kind of a party, do you give them a quick facial as well?
What's been working for me, sometimes if they call me on it and they want it on their face, I'll do it on their face. But I've been doing back of hand with royal jelly, and then we'll do on their face a quick powder and then cosmetics if we're including cosmetics. Just because of time, and it's more effective. That I don't know if it's more effective, but if we just do it on the back of their hand, it saves me time. They get to see all the royal jelly. Then if they want to do cosmetics, I'll powder and I'll do eye, like smoky eye or lip or whatever I promised for that particular thing. And like I said, if they give me a hard time and they're like, oh, I thought I was getting a facial, then I go ahead and do that. But I just let them know one of the reasons why I started with back of hand is because some people, it's a new product, and sometimes we do have reactions. So I'm just careful about that. If they really wanted it, then I dive in and do it. But I've only had one person say that. So I'm saving a lot of time and still having great results because I'm selling royal jelly like crazy. So
when you do brows or eyeshadow or anything, does it on every single guest?
No, I've only been doing on the hostess so far, but I only have my brow parties booked now. So it's something new I'm doing. So the 2 that I had before were just on the hostess, but now we're going to do like a group of 4. And they're going to practice. I'm bringing different sheets that I've printed of different styles of brow, and they can choose, and we'll practice. I'll help. You know how they are. The friends will help. What were you going to say, Lori?
You're going to show that video. There's a video on Jafra with the brows on YouTube.
Yeah. I'm thinking that it's kind of, for me, for time reasons and other whatever, it's usually the hostess that I would do, because that's like a benefit of being a hostess is that you get me instead of just watching me and trying to duplicate it. But I was just curious if you did all of them or just.
And usually when they start complaining and they're like, hey, do mine or whatever, I have told 2 so far. Like I haven't done this a lot, but I told 2, well, when you're the hostess, we'll do your whole face. And they're like, okay, well, Laura, and then they book because they're friends. So it's just, it's fun. They don't get really angry. I'm just teasing, but it's really fun. They get irritated and they want to be the hostess then.
Yeah. They're like, all right, if you insist.
Little tag onto that. Last night I was with my girlfriends, it was a baby group, so that we're all 60 plus. And one of my girlfriends turns to me and she says, Sarah, remember I bought that eye pencil from you? I need to learn how to use it. So I just thought that was funny and I remember when I was a much young woman that they said your eyebrows, of course, start fading, and it's an immediate facelift. So it's a great little angle, Jackie. I like that, to just meet up with people, because that's kind of, I'm like going, oh, I don't want to go out and prospect. And so I'm like, easier to meet people at parties and just trying to figure out easy ways to gather people together. But one other thing I wanted to add was a big shift for me this year, and also working with the Aspire Club, is as opposed to product, which I did for, let's see how many years I've been in Jafra, going on 42. So let's say 40 years, led with the product. And I just found it much harder to work up from the product to, I want to sponsor and promote managers. That's what I want to do. So the way that I talk to people is much different and I really don't lead with the product, because we all know what happens. Trickle down theory is that they end up with the product, right? And so it's back to what we've been learning all year and talking about all year, is about sharing the free services we have to offer. And, you start with the opportunity, and it's a natural thing once you share your why, which is kind of where we started here, So you share your why and your little why statement, and then, I'm telling people, the lady that I talked to at church, what got her to want to meet with me tomorrow is, she said, I'm really interested in coaching. And she was a gal I met at church. She's a Latina and that goes to the Spanish ministry, but we know each other because I work with the kids there. And she says, I really want to start, and I'm going to do Uber, and I really want to coach. And I go, really? we definitely need to talk. She's one of the ladies I asked to do a party for me. And so never shared Jafra with her or anything, but she, anyways, but so it's amazing when people start talking and start sharing how it just opens a little, it's like a crack in the window, and then you start, talking to them and getting more information. So right now, we do need to have our reasons we're talking to people and to meet with more people, and anytime we can do that the easiest way possible. Yeah.
So I want to kind of start wrapping it up, because I know we can go about another 10 minutes, but so that we all know the most important thing is to get their contact information, because if you don't get that, it doesn't matter what you've said, the chances of them calling you is slim, because it's not important to them yet. And it does happen. If you've said the right words and you've asked the right questions and you've got them really interested, they may call you back, but it's also very likely that they'll forget. So it's important to get their contact information, whether it's just an email, just a phone number for text, whatever. So really quickly around the group, and everybody, if you're willing, everyone share. How do you get someone to give you their information? When you've just met them, I'm talking, you've met somebody at a restaurant, or you've met somebody at a grocery store or whatever. How do you get them to give that to you? Without
Can I share? I just did this.
Yeah, go.
Okay. I was just talking, we were looking for a hotel for one of our meetings, and I was talking to the girl at the reservation desk, and she said, "Oh, Jafra, la, 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 la." I said, you know what, give me your number and I will text you one of our catalogs. And she said, okay. I said, Jasmine, and number, what, da, da, da. I said, okay, perfect. I'm going to text you a catalog right now. She said, great, I love you.
Okay, so Marie, I want you to teach me how to text a catalog.
Okay, it's very simple. You can do it different way.
I just figured that out like yesterday.
Lori has a YouTube tutorial. Go listen to it. It's really good.
But here's another way if you just have your phone.
Good job.
Jafra texts the client brochure every month, okay? So if you go back to your text from Jafra on Sunday, January 1st, there's a text with the link to the catalog.
Is that your catalog though, or is it the generic?
No, it's just the Jafra catalog.
So you need to
go we want our catalog.
So then you have to go to your web, just like I just shared that tutorial, that YouTube tutorial to all of my Facebook groups, okay, on how to do that.
Good job.
Okay. It's very simple. You just go to your website, okay, and then you go to your catalog, where your catalog is, and you just hover over it, and both catalogs will show up, okay?
So that I do that on my phone.
It's a little trickier on the phone, trust me.
It's still possible.
Yeah, I know, I did it.
You have to, depending on if you have an iPhone or an Android, you're going to go to your website, and then you'll either be, usually if you press and hold on something, it will offer you to copy a link.
Oh, right.
If that's usually what it is, it depends on your phone, but many times, or there will be a little dots to click on or whatever. But if you do it the way my YouTube channel shows you how to do it, and you private message it to yourself on Messenger, then you can go on your phone and copy, press and hold on that and copy, and it's always there for you. You don't have to log into your website every time.
Right.
Okay.
That's what I do, because I want it there all month. Right. I want to know where I'm going to find it.
I did the same thing.
Yeah.
But that's a great way, because now you have her phone number. So you can text her and call her.
And she goes, "Oh, you can text a catalog? Ooh."
Yeah, I know. See?
So cool.
I catch that young group.
That's right.
Oh, well, you're right. Absolutely. Okay.
Because sometimes, honestly, I don't have a catalog.
I sent it to you, Vicki, to see.
Yeah.
Yeah, we can all text each other the catalog just for fun.
I just did that. I followed your tutorial and I did it. I use one simple phrase, and I've been practicing. It's just really easy. Thanks, Lori. I appreciate you. And I would love one of these weeks before we become official. I would love for you to teach us how to get more, use our Facebook to get more clients, engage more people. What do you guys think? Is that something you'd like to learn from Lori?
Sure. Now that Jaffra's
Yes.
Now
Yes.
that Jennifer's the
Anyways, so here's
Woohoo, yes, I
my
did.
phrase. This is a super phrase.
Okay.
So if I'm talking to someone, I say, let's exchange information. So it's that simple. And then I'll say, and I usually do it right into my cell phone. And I say, and your name is, and then I write it and make sure I spell it right because people like that. And usually you don't have to do it at the time because it takes time. And I'm going to tell you because I was traveling all over the nation this year. If I did not write where I met them, oh my gosh.
Right.
So I put like I might put Lori Walmart, and then I later, and put more information. But before you save it because otherwise you'll never find it again. And then I'll say, and your cell phone number is, and then I'll put the cell phone number. No, I do. Anyways,
You're cutting out a little bit, Sarah.
okay. Then then what I do, so I say, why don't we exchange information? And I'll open up my phone and I'll say, let me get your information, and then I will call you or text you, whatever you prefer. But I always like to find what their preference is because otherwise you're texting and, oh, I don't text or I don't whatever. And so then I will put it right into my phone because I'm not really good at keeping track of little pieces of paper. And then I try to keep it fast and simple at that point, but what I do after is I might go back and add notes. You know how you can add notes to your contacts?
Yeah.
Add an address, whatever. You get notes, and I might put more information. And then the other thing that I do is I make groups, and I might put Jaffra lead under group. But I do that after. I don't do it while I'm sitting there. And then, so the two girls on Sunday, they said, yeah, I said, I'll go ahead and text you because what happens is if you're calling strangers back and they don't have you in their phone.
Yeah,
and you
they don't answer.
Yep.
Right.
this, answer it. So I do it right. Save it, Sarah Jaffra, whatever. Save it. Then when I call them, they're expecting a call. I mean, or at least they know, and they want to avoid me. I guess they can, but they would avoid you anyway. So it's more likely. That's just a simple thing I've been doing this last year. And it's some of that things I shared with you were through trial and error and things. So that's kind of what I came up with, what works and where I can find people. And then you can send out your catalog or whatever.
Yeah,
So.
I do something very similar. I open my contacts to a new contact. I hand them my phone and I say, how would you like me to contact you? Because then I don't give them a choice. I hand it to them and they're taking my phone and now they have to do something. And if they say, oh, I don't want to do that, that's okay. But 99% of the time they're like, oh, they'll put in Susie. They won't necessarily put their last name, which I'm okay with. And then they'll put Susie. And then they'll put their email only or just their phone number. And I'll say, as they're talking, I'll say, I promise you I do not spam people. I hate it when people spam me and I will not do it to you. I will only text you or call you if there's something that I think you would really, you'd like, or to send the information we just talked about or whatever it is. But I will literally hand it to them with an open contact because then they kind of have to do something. So, let's see, who else? Carolyn. What do you do to get them to give you their info?
Similar things that we've talked about. Just trying to connect with them. I really try to connect with people on a personal level, and before I try to get their information because they seem to be more. They seem to be more receptive to do that. So I connect with them on a personal level. It could be, maybe it's their shoes that they're wearing. I'm a shoe girl, so I notice people's shoes. So just connect with them and then start the conversation and ask for their contact information. I haven't mastered opening my phone in the contact because usually the phone is at the bottom of my purse. I have to work on that part. But,
attached, Carolyn, attached to the hand. When you're
there you go. And I do manage to get the information on a piece of paper. I always have paper in my purse, a small tablet that I can write things down on.
Yeah, I learned the paper does not work for me anymore. My phone's my go-to. But everybody does things differently. So for you, it's paper, and that's great. You've got a tablet, you've got a place to put things, and in the end, it's really just about getting it. So all those work. Janet, what do you do to get them to close or hand you their information and their firstborn's birthday and stuff?
You know, I just ask them. I say, oh, either the phone, but I don't put it in because I've messed up so many times. It's just disgusting. So I will hand them the phone, or else I'll just have them write on a piece of paper. And I just say, if you give me your information, and then we'll be able to keep in touch. I mean, I've never had anyone, I mean, I've had people say no because they didn't want, and they weren't interested.
Right.
Then the follow-up is the hard thing.
That's another Move It Monday right there. That whole subject.
And Janet, I think you should share your story about when you got back in the field. Not now because we don't have time, but you know, about getting leads and your results, because that's really.
I could even I could show you my book.
Yeah, that's a great story.
That would be another good Move It Monday.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah. I think, you know, yeah, I think maybe next week, do you guys want to do follow-up? You wanted to work on that?
Sure.
Yeah.
Next week is the subject is follow-up. Because we're all going to call 10 people this week. I'm doing this to myself too, by the way.
Is that the assignment?
Yeah.
I told Felicia we had homework every week.
Yeah, I posted on Friday. So I'm doing this new Friday Fire thing, and I designed the logo myself. I'm pretty darn proud of it. Anyway, I'm like so perfectionist about that stuff. Anyway, but the idea is that we all get on, when I post that, we all get on there and share, what are you doing this week? Let's do this, you know, little bits of sharing whatever. And this kind of tidbit stuff, totally share that on there. You know, whatever you guys want to.
It's very inspiring and motivating.
Yeah.
Yeah. Love it.
Anyway, really, so Sarah, I was going to say too, I do the group thing as well and code my people as well. I code mine with JP after their name, -JP, and then I put them in a group of prospects. But anyway.
Oh, Jafra Prospect JP?
Yeah.
Yeah, some people need translations. Thank you.
Maureen, do you have any way you get people to give you their information, or would you like to not share tonight? I know you're on mute right now. But you're
no pressure.
So you have to share. You have to start sharing all the time.
My favorite thing is Saturdays. And just talking to people about the shows worked well for me to get a lot of contacts by giving out the sachets and saying, hey, I'd like to get back with you in 3 days and see how you like the product. Please do that morning and night for 3 days, and then I'll give you a call. And that worked really well for introductions and to get some new comments, because I hadn't really been promoting Jafra very much, just to neighbors and family, because I was working all the time with my other job. It was a good way to get back into the business again. And I'm still doing that, where I'm meeting people all the time and trying to build my business again.
Yeah, sachets are brilliant. I love that. The 3-day testing is a really nice intro that is easy for everyone, no matter what their level. Victor,
That's what I do.
Yeah. That's how you get it. See how she said ditto? I heard ditto. Did you guys hear ditto?
That's all I do, because I don't do the phone because I just don't keep track of it that well, and I don't put up, like Janet said, I can't do that. So I get out my little contact sheet and I say, you know, have them sign up. That's what I do.
Very cool.
Oh, those sachets.
The sachets are the easiest thing to share with people and get their name. I mean,
Yeah.
Yeah, I just simply say, what's the best number I can reach you?
mm-hmm.
And what time?
Well, I find that texting, they usually respond.
Yeah.
Well, usually when I give out the sachets, I'll wait like an hour, not always, but you know, depending on the crowd or event that I'm at, but I will text them after they've given me their number and say, thank you for stopping by my booth, or it was a pleasure meeting you, or thank you for your great service. And I will put an alert to remind me to do that. And then they dialogue, because life on life's terms, it's like, oh my gosh, I'm so OCD right now. Just like so distracted by anything. So I'll put an alert on it, and it'll come up on my phone. So I'm like, oh yeah, I need to call her. And that kind of gives a warm fuzzy when they connect with you. Like, oh, it was nice to meet you too. So they've already connected
I've got
in
it.
that fashion already.
I just looked at the clock. I've got to call.
Yeah, I gotta go too. Thank you, ladies.
Yes.
Bye, girls.
Thank you.
Great call.
10 contents. Did you hear that, Felicia? 10
Yes,
contents.
thanks so much. Bye-bye.
The idea is to book. The idea is just, I mean, it's not like I'm going to be like, okay, who knew there, but it's just like, let's challenge each other. I know I am so busy. I'm trying to relaunch some photography stuff and do Jafra, and all this stuff, all this planning stuff is going on in my head. And so I'm not stopping and making phone calls. And I really need to do that this week. So you guys have to call me on it. Okay. Seriously.
I have my
You guys
pom-poms.
make me accountable, because this week I did not do what I wanted to do this week with that.
Bye-bye.
So anyway.
Bye.
Bye.
All right. You guys have an awesome
Yes.
week. Thank you. Thank you for all your sharing. And
Thank
ideas. I love it.
Great,
Thank you. Have a
great
good
call.
week.
Thank you, Lori.
Thank you.
Bye.
Thank
You. Have a great week.
Bye-bye.
Bye.
Bye.